Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily topic-wise news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial would be discussed in this session. And additionally, I'll be supplementing the news with some relevant information that can help you in prelims and mains examination. So let's get started with the topic first. Today is 9th of June. The first topic is new guideline for producing digital education resources. Second, center orders COVID-19 vaccine doses. Third, World Bank sees India's growth by 8.3%. So they've reduced the projection from 10.1%. Climate change impacts on India's GDP. And the last is bringing genomic sequencing to the pandemic fight. So this is an editorial from the Hindu. Apart from all the discussion, there would be MCQs question at the end of this session. And these MCQs question are based on current affairs that will help you in the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to give a thumbs up. Now starting with the first news. First, we'll be discussing about the center's order of COVID-19 vaccine doses. We've seen the recent announcement by the central government for the centralized procurement of the COVID-19 vaccines. So understand the detail of this news. Important for your general studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors. Also important in the same paper, like issues and management of issues related to management of health. So what central government has decided? So the center has placed a fresh order. They have placed an order of 44 crores of the vaccine doses of the Covishield and the Covaxin. So both of these two vaccines are manufactured by different company. Serum Institute of India is manufacturing the Covishield and Bharat Biotech is manufacturing the Covaxin, right? So it was made possible by the center order, and possibly these number of doses by two vaccine manufacturer would be available by August and December. सो अगस्त से लेकर दिसंबर के बीच तक में ये सारी डोजेस इंडिया को अवेलेबल हो जाएंगी. Now it has placed an another order of 30 crores, right? So another 30 crore doses from Hyderabad Biological E, जिनको recently अभी वैक्सीन्स के लिए मिली है अप्रूवल. सो दे वुड बी ऑल्सो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एटलीस्ट 30 crore doses. So there is a lot more vaccine that is coming to India by this year end. Now, how is the procurement? What is the procurement details? So if you talk about in total, so the government of India altogether would procure 74 crore of the doses, right? And this would be secured from August onwards. So this is how they are actually working to procure at least none than 74 crore of the doses. Already the doses that has been given to people is approximately 13 crore. So the population of India is none less than approximately 136 crore. So we have to see like how things work. Basically, if this much number of people is vaccinated by the end of this year, we can possibly see a relief from the COVID-19 pandemic. Now talking about until July, this is what the estimation has been from the government. Until July, 53 crore vaccine doses, including 23 crores from ऑलरेडी एडमिनिस्टर. ऐसा कहना है जो फर्स्ट डोज है वो 23 करोड़ लोगों को दी गई है. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द परसेंटेज. इन टोटलिटी ऑलमोस्ट 12% लोगों को दी गई है. इट वाज एक्सपेक्टेड दैट सेरम इंस्टीट्यूट एंड भारत बायोटेक वुड बी डूइंग दिस. नाउ इफ ऑल एस्टिमेट गोज, देयर वुड बी फ्लक्चुएशंस. It would mean that 127 crore of the doses would be available, and this is enough to ensure that India's estimated pollution of 94 crore gets dose of single dose vaccine, right? So at this point of time, अगर इस समय की बात करें, at present it seems that if everything is implemented well, the government can overcome the problem of the vaccine shortage. However, a lot depend upon the speed of the vaccination. So the other problem which was faced, like the other state government was not able to cope up with the vaccination drive. The productions which was been given from the company, बट उसकी अगर एग्जैक्ट एग्जीक्यूशंस की बात की जाए, लोगों को वैक्सीन देने की बात की जाए, तो वहाँ पे रेशियो कम थे. नो हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जाम्पल, नॉट एक्चुअली द हाइपोथेटिकल, इट वॉज बीइंग आर्ग्यूड that Serum Institute of India is providing 21 lakh doses per day. But some states, and in total we can see almost 8 to 9 lakhs of doses is only being administered. So we need to increase the vaccination process. We need to have we need to have the resources, the manpower to at least inculcate what number of vaccine is manufacturing in India, right? So estimated target and funds. Now to able to administer at least single doses of to the adults, over 9 crore of the people need to inculcate it every month, right? So jitne adults population hai, this by adult population I mean the population of age group between 18 to 44. So if you want to vaccinate all this population, the adult population, I mean 9 crore of the doses per day deni hogi, then only we can have this, we can come to a conclusion that yes, we have achieved the target within the stipulated time. And government has earmarked 35 crore of the amount. This was already announced in the union budget 2021-2022. तो इसमें announcement की गई थी कि already government एक dedicated special allowances, no special budget allocate किए हैं for the vaccine procurement. And until May 28, it has ordered 28.5 crore of the doses for 4,488 crore rupees. So this is what an official confirmation coming from the Ministry of Health and Welfare. Now this is a complete plan of action. If you have newspaper hard copy, you can just take cut of it, and if you're having digital format, you can save this images or you can take the screenshot of this as well. So additionally, 25 crore doses of Covishield, 19 crore doses of the Covaxin. This is all, they have also placed the order, right? And Hyderabad based Biological E, which I've told you in the beginning, would be also making the doses of Covax. So it has released 30% in advance to the manufacturer. 74 crore doses है वो definitely roll out होंगी between August to December, right? And India has targeted adult of 94 crore populations, and the estimation is around and 28 crore doses have to be administered. So this is how this has already been administered. We are left with other number of the doses to the young youth population aged between 18 to 20, aged between 18 to 44, right? So this is how the vaccination drive would go in the coming months, and we should be hopeful that yes, this is the right decision that government has taken after the intervention from the Supreme Court. And we should welcome this step. At least this is something which would benefit to the humanity and the citizen of this country. Now, talking about the other news, new guideline for producing digital education resources, important for your general studies paper 2, issues related to development and management of education. So some rules and regulations regarding the online content. The Ministry of Education or Education Ministry has laid down the new guideline procuring the digital education resources for the child and with disabilities. Ministry of Education was earlier known as Human Resource Development Ministry. Many of you must be familiar with this. No, because if you don't know, people tend to confuse what is Education Ministry. So as of now, we are operating with Education Ministry. So the closure of regular school and learning centers due to COVID-19 that has led to the special difficulties. जो ऐसे differently abled है या जो specially abled लोग हैं, we do not call them disabled, we call them differently abled, right? So for that particular people, there would be some digital education, digital resources that would be aiding them, helping them to overcome the challenges of education. Now, what is a guideline? We'll understand the detailed guideline because this can be relevant and you can use these points in your mains answer writing as well. So the guideline released by the Ministry of Education, this is based on 4 guiding principles that include stipulation of the resources must be perceivable. First is perceivable, second is operable, third is understandable, and fourth is robust for disabled students. Now, जो recommendations हैं, it recommend that all textbooks should be made digital accessible in the phased manner. So they have provided a deadline so that all the books that are available would be digitally made so that it is available in multiple formats such as text. People who cannot read, they have the audio format, video, science and languages to turn and off the features, right? So this will definitely aid the differently abled student to cope up with the curriculum and the overall the textbook written material that is required. Now, the guideline provides strategy to produce supplementary content that would be varying with the disabilities, including students who face हियरिंग डिसेबिलिटीज़ हैं जिनको या फिर विजुअल डिसेबिलिटीज़ है, तो अकॉर्डिंगली वो अपने जो फीचर्स हैं उनको यूज़ कर पाएंगे एंड इट वुड बी बूस्टिंग ऑन द स्पेशल लर्निंग डिसेबिलिटीज़ पीपल सर, और जिन लोगों को मल्टीपल डिसेबिलिटीज़ हैं उनके अकॉर्डिंगली भी कोर्सेज को डिज़ाइन की जाएंगी. And they note that the learning activities must include audio, visual, tactical experiences, while evaluating must also be done on the multimodal mode. So definitely a good and appreciated efforts coming from the government of India. And the guideline do include an implementation roadmap जहाँ पे आने वाले टाइम पे पूरे टीम को बिल्ड की जाएगी ताकि जो दिशा प्लेटफॉर्म है, दीक्षा प्लेटफॉर्म इज अ प्लेटफॉर्म that government of India has already designed, followed by the training and development of prototype and acceptable to digital textbooks. Now, what are the concerns that has been raised with regard to the new guideline that has come by the Ministry of Education? So the recent study by the Vidhi Centers for Legal Policies has shown that half of the NCERT textbook जो कि available है government के virtual education site Diksha पे were not accessible to the visually impaired students, right? With the Center for Legal Policy is a very good and independent think tank. You can refer to their website. You will get a lot more blogs which will help you in your IR section. Do check it out, right? If you don't find it, just let me know. I'll link down the official site address in the description. तो आप इसको देखें और जो दीक्षा के में जिस तरह से जो प्रॉब्लम हुई है उसको विद्या सेंटर ने ऑलरेडी हाईलाइट किया है एनसीईआरटी बुक्स को लेकर के. Now, what is Diksha and e-Pathshala? If you're talking about this thing, this is an additional information that you must know. So, Diksha is a national digital infrastructure for providing quantity e-content, like quality e-content होगी जो कि स्कूल के स्टेट लेवल के स्कूल्स हैं, यूटीज़ के जो स्कूल हैं उनको QR एनर्जाइज टेक्स्ट बुक दी जाएगी for all the graders. This is one nation, one digital platform, right? And Diksha is more than 8,000 ebook which is available for class created by CBSE, NCERT, all state and union territories that is available in multiple language. Now what is e-Pathshala? अगर आपने दीक्षा के बारे में पढ़ा है तो आपको फिर e-Pathshala के बारे में भी जानकारी होनी चाहिए. It is a web portal. NCERT has deployed audios, videos, e-books and flip books for the classes from 11 to 12 in different languages. So this is how Government of India has already enrolled some of the important programs to help the students. Now coming to the World Bank sees growing by 8.3%. We'll see the detail of this as well. So the World Bank have sees India growing by 8.3%. What are the details that you must know, because the projections for India's growth has been deteriorating a lot many times. So important for your general studies paper 3, inclusive growth and issues arising from it. As per the global economic prospect which was released by the World Bank, Indian economy is expected to grow by 8.3% in the fiscal year, right? And it is being expected कि अप्रैल 2021 से इन्होंने कैलकुलेट करने की कोशिश की है क्योंकि जो प्रीवियस प्रोजेक्शंस थी वो 10.1% के आसपास रही थी, which has now decreased to 8.3%. So now officially World Bank has confirmed that this would be the growth rate for India. Now projections for global growth, this was for India. Now we'll see कि globally क्या projections की गई है. So global economy would expand by 5.6% in 2021, right? Because we have seen recession जो पहले कभी पिछले 80 years में इस तरह की recession नहीं देखी गई है. Now observing the global output still end by 2%. Pre-pandemic projections. Now the development tenders has said that is highly unequal access to COVID-19 vaccine was one of the factor for uneven recovery. Some states have already, like talking about state like United States, even China, England, Japan, right? So these states have already vaccinated their people. But if you talk about India, we have just taken some good step which would again take another 3 to 4 months to show the results. So disparity है, इस वजह से global economy recovery में भी problem आ रही है. Low and in middle income countries, they have lagged in the vaccination and witnessed the reversal in poverty reductions, pandemic exclamation insecurity, and long-standing challenges. So this is what is being projected in the global growth. Now, impact of second COVID wave की अगर बात करें how it has impacted, it has drastically reduced talking about India's economy growth. So, undermining the sharper expected rebound activities in the second half of the 2021. Now, with the surge of the cases during the second wave, the foot traffic around the work and retail spaces has again slowed because of the pockets lockdown in many states and union territory. There were a miniature lockdown that has already, it was already in place in many states, right? Economic activity in India would follow a similar but prolonged collapse and recovery trend. फर्स्ट वेव में भी इस तरह की चीज़ें देखी गई थी. ड्यूरिंग फर्स्ट वेव इट वाज कंप्लीट नेशनल लॉकडाउन, बट सेकेंड वेव हैव ऑल्सो ड्रास्टिकली affected the Indian economy. Measures that were taken by the government of India. So government announced health related spending. That means they would revise the medium term fiscal path intentions to have economy recovery. और इस चीज को डिटोरेशन को देखते हुए गवर्नमेंट और रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ने कुछ स्टेप्स लिए हैं. रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया हैव लिक्विड प्रोविजंस इन माइक्रो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस. जितने भी एमएसएमई सेक्टर्स हैं उसमें भी आरबीआई ने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मेजर्स लिए. दे हैव loses the regulatory requirement for provisioning of the non-performing assets. So if you talk about NPAs also, the rules, the strictness of NPA, NPA by the Reserve Bank of India has been leveraged. So NPA is something which is a core concern for the Reserve Bank of India, but amid the COVID-19, there was some bit of relaxation. But definitely they would perform some better action so that they can overcome the problem of NPA. Now, the renowned outbreak, however, may require further targeted policy support to address the health and economic cost, right? So this is something which is again very important. Measures has to be taken by the government of India, and again these measures would help in the coming time. Right? जो measures ली जाएंगे उनकी जो positive aspects हैं वो कुछ महीनों में दिखेगी. Even in the next quarter it can be seen. Moving to the other news, that is climate change impacts on India's GDP. We'll see what are the news, that is a report coming from this latest survey. So this is important for your general studies paper 3, conservation, environment, pollution and environmental impact assessment. So according to the latest report, which was being released by the London based think tank Overseas Development Institute, they said India is already experiences a consequences of 1% of Celsius of the global warming. जो 1 डिग्री की जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग बढ़ी है उसकी इकोनॉमिक कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस इंडिया ने दिखाना स्टार्ट कर दिया है. इम्पैक्ट हैज़ ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड. So the report titled is the cost of climate change in India. What is the cost? What we would have to give a compensation on that. And definitely because of the climate change, India would lose in some other sector as well. तो उसके बारे में कुछ prospect detail बताई गई है. So economic cost, climate related risk in the country has started possibly by increasing inequality and poverty in the country, right? So we are paying for the global warming. And it is said that India may anywhere around 3 to 10% of its GDP annually by 2100, right? So we are in 20, after like 80 years, India can lose this much. And also the poverty may increase by 3.5% by 2040 due to the climate change. So we can see the impact of climate change, how severely it can impact Indian economy, overall growth, poverty and other sectors. So we have to take some conclusive action, some sustainable action so that we can sustain and contain the global warming. Now consequences क्या क्या है ग्लोबल वार्मिंग के? एक्सट्रीम हीट वेव से heavy rainfall, severe flooding, catastrophic storms, rising sea levels, damaging lives, livelihood, assets across the country. If we talk about the climate change, this is already having the slowing pace of poverty and reducing the inequality in India. These are some of the important consequences that we have seen for the global warming. Now finding of the report ने कुछ important चीज़ों को find किया, where they said like 2 degrees Celsius if अगर होती है, अगर temperature बढ़ती है, so we will lose 2.6% annually in our GDP, right? In case of temperature, if rose to 3%, we can lose up to 13.4% annually, right? And the result has narrowed the projection for the temperature and precipitation change, efforts, labor productivity and different sector. और क्या इसके बारे और रिपोर्ट्स में बताई गई हैं. सो द क्लाइमेट चेंज में इफेक्ट द लेबर प्रोडक्टिविटी. डेफिनेटली इट वुड इम्पैक्ट द लेबर प्रोडक्टिविटी. एडिशनली उसके बाद और बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकती हैं, लाइक एंडेमिक वेक्टर बोर्न डिजीजेस, मलेरिया, डेंगू, चिकनगुनिया, फिलेरिसिस, Japanese encephalitis. So these are the diseases that could again arise in the country, and it further points out that possibility of rising inequalities. There would be a lot of inequality that would exist in terms of income and wealthy levels, gender relations, caste dynamics intersect, and the climate changes perpetuate to the exacerbate inequalities. So this is how the impact of climate change can impact India a lot. Now, bringing genomic sequencing into the pandemic fight. This is a great editorial talking about the genomic sequencing, important for General Studies Paper 2, issues related to development and management of health. Genomic sequencing as a concept is again important for the prelims examination. So make sure you are thorough with the basic concepts of this. So what I'm going to discuss under this editorial. So first, talking about the theme, the editorial talks about the advantages of genomic sequencing and the four subhead under which I'll be discussing the entire editorial. So the first is genome sequencing status in India, the delta strain, step ahead, and the bottom line. So in the fight of COVID-19, we have seen that India has adopted all its measure, all its tool, but it was lagging in terms of genomic sequencing. An effective tool that can have a track on the emerging variant. अगर बात करें और जो स्टडीज़ हुई है जहाँ पे ट्रांसमिबिलिटी, इम्यून स्केप और पोटेंशियल कॉज अगर जाननी हो किसी भी बीमारी की इन टर्म्स ऑफ पेंडेमिक, so genome sequencing play a very crucial and important role. Therefore, the genome sequencing become the first step in an important process. Now, when the success of United States की अगर बात करें, even the United Kingdom, when they have contained the virus, the credit of this has to go to the vaccination. And again, apart from vaccination, genomic sequencing is something that have helped this country to contain the virus, right? So they have understand the trend, they have the evidence, they have timely action, because of the reason they were able to contain it so fast. And India has underestimated somehow, and they have not advanced the genomic sequencing process. सो जीनोमिक सिक्वेंसिंग स्टेटस इन इंडिया अगर बात करें तो यहाँ पे जो केसेस, यहाँ पे जो इसके स्टेप्स थी, जो प्रोसेस थी, वो ऑलमोस्ट फ्लैटन थी. वी हैव नॉट टेकन सम इमीडिएट स्टेप्स. अनफॉर्चुनेटली बहुत ज़्यादा जीनोमिक सिक्वेंसिंग पे जोर नहीं दी गई. ओनली 5% ऑफ द केसेस वर स्टडीड अंडर द कन्फर्म्ड जीनोमिक सिक्वेंसिंग, राइट. अगर बात करें प्रोसीजर्स की, जहाँ पे इंडिया में ऑलरेडी जो इन सैकॉग है या फिर इंडियन सार्क कोविड जीनोम कॉन्स्टेलिया, इन्होंने भी कहा था कि genomic sequencing is very low, right, and it is only to the 1,000 cases only. So we have lagged here, and ये surprise भी नहीं है, because of the reason जो delta variant, जो new variant है, जिसको mutant, double mutant variant और even Indian variant के नाम से जाना जाता था. This is the linkage of B.1.617. Now it has been named with the delta variant after WHO has intervened that they would be not naming any variant with a country name. Right, and India has raised concern for this as well. So delta variant सबसे पहले महाराष्ट्र में मिली थी, right, in October 2020. उसके बाद alpha variant, this was first reported in the Kent in England, right. So if India could have advanced the genomic sequencing, we could have contained it. We could have some idea that how the things would work in the coming years or the coming time. Now, talking about the delta strain, this is from the India only. I mean, it is always from the UK, but it mutated in India. So, based on analysis, nearly 3,600 genomic sequencing sample from November to April 2021. But जो report के मुताबिक यहाँ पे ये पता चला है कि जो delta variant है that have become most circulating in Delhi, states of Delhi, where in April there was a lot of shortage of oxygens and many people have died. As number as 4,000 to 7,000 people died, right? There's not actual estimation from the Delhi government also, and 50% more transmissibility than alpha variant which was found in England. So आप समझ सकते हो जो वहाँ की वेरिएंट थी वहाँ से 50% ज़्यादा ट्रांसमिसिबिलिटी कैपेसिटी थी. Based on this finding, the Delta variant responsible for the pandemic in Delhi in April 2021. Now this is the first detailed survey जहाँ पे सार्क कोविड 2 genomic sequencing से ये पता चला हमें कि India states is very full insight on the behavior impact of the Delta variants, and that has impacted a lot in our country. So this strain is now not even now under control, but definitely government of India has to continue with the genomic sequencing so that there's no third wave in the country. Now some steps has been suggested in this editorial, and these steps is very evident, and you can write these steps in the main paper also. So India need to scale up the genomic sequencing across the states, and there should be sufficient and representative samples of the genomic sequencing at the district level. A national level analysis has to be there so that we could come up with the data and share the finding publicly. Other second step would be India government need to invest and support more scientific operational research in the vaccinations. We have to analyze the data on regular basis कि हर age, gender और comorbid conditions में क्या results हैं. Now the third is there need to have an indication of immune response जहाँ पे immune escapes है, effectiveness क्या है डेल्टा वेरिएंट के especially in one shots जो single dose of vaccines में किस तरह की efficacy देखने को मिल रही है. And India at the end of the May had administered at least one dose of the vaccines to 43% of the people older than 60 years. जो 60 से एज के ऊपर उन 43% लोगों को ऑलरेडी वैक्सीनेट कर दी गई है. For the age of 45, 37% of the people have already been vaccinated. So the state and district official have engaged in epidemiological, coming up with the practical operational of implication and strategies. Now some bottom line, some way forward that you can conclude in the mains answer writing. So this is a need of the hour. We need to expand the genomic sequencing. There's no other way around. This is the only way where we can have an idea, we can have the prediction, we can have a preventive measures, right? So understanding the impact of new variant, its transmissibility, its severity, and vaccine effectiveness can only be done through the genomic sequencing. Now, the only assured way to find the pandemic is to use scientific evidence, decide policy, modify strategy, and take corrective actions. Now, as India prepared for the third wave, increasing genomic sequencing out of the scientific evidence for the decision make not a choice but also an absolute essential, right? So this is something which is a must, which is a necessity that government of India must do it. Now moving to the MCQs question of the day. Before I start with the questions, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. So the correct option for the question 1 is C, and for question number 2 the correct option is B. Now today's MCQs about the Financial Action Task Force. These are the two statements. You can read this statement. If you find whatever is correct, you can write that in the comment section down below. So do participate, write your answer in the comment section. The second question, recently the Union Cabinet has approved the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between which among the following countries. You have to choose whether it is India, Mauritius, India, Sri Lanka, India, Japan, India, Maldives. So if you know the correct answer, write it. If you don't know, you can read it out. Then you can let us know in the comment section down below. Participate, answers more and more questions so that it can help you in the upcoming prelims examination. So this was all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs question. If you have any other concern, you can let us know. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Wish you all the best. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much.